Hey everyone, it's 10 Types, and I'm still sick, so that's unfortunate. But today we're talking about Paradise Dragona, which is officially revealed, which is super exciting. This set is it's like a mini set. I don't know, it's in Japan, which the sets are small. It's only 64 cards, right? It's not a great set, gonna be completely honest, but it does have some interesting cards. I'm gonna do a top 10 list at some point, and so I'll have the 10 best cards, which are good, I think. I haven't made it yet. I have an idea of what's going to be on it, though. We got our Caledon EX and Drayden, the Alicia's Appeal card. I don't know. This is a weird, or just Alicia. I don't know. This card's a really weird card to talk about. We've talked about it before in the channel, though. So yeah, it's definitely a pretty interesting set. Corresponds to Year of the Dragon, which is like kind of fun. But of course, the big thing for international viewers of the channel, this is releasing September 13th in Japan, right? Which is the same day as Stellar Crown. Internationally, those are releasing. That's exactly a week from me recording this video. Probably less than that, I guess, when I release it then. So yeah, this will be in Surging Sparks though, which is including Supercharged Breaker, which is the like other portion of the set. And as you can see here. We've seen the Latios and Latias. The Latias has an EX and the Latios doesn't. The Latios is, I think, pretty bad, unless I'm mixing them up. The EX is like solid. Our Caledon EX and a Lone Executor EX, but then we have Pikachu EX, which is kind of what the set's named after. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of stuff focused around that, and I think that card will be good. I mean, Pokemon, likes Pikachu. I think Pikachu's cool too. And obviously they probably want to give it a good card. It doesn't always have the best. I mean, it's a pre-evolution, so it's a little weird. But anyways, we are going to see more cards from the main international set. So don't be worried if you're like, oh, the set like seems kind of underwhelming. Now, also, these are only the cards. I'm only going to be talking about the ones I haven't talked about before. So we've talked about a lot of the good ones. We've talked about stuff like Black Hurum. I think it's just a counter Reggie Draco. If I haven't talked about it, certainly Latias DX I mentioned. There's the Goldengo. There's just a bunch of cards, but there's some I haven't talked about. They are generally the weaker ones, but there are some interesting ones we really need to talk about that are super interesting. There's one that's I think really weird, but we'll talk about it. But we have Delmise here. Nothing particularly special. It recovers Pokemon with its attack, which we see all the time. I bet most people don't really know we see it all the time, but we do. I actually don't know how often we see it. I know we see it some though. It's definitely in the standard format now. It's just something that, like, let's be honest, who's using this, right? But whatever. It is I guess, a nice secondary attack. But your main attack here is for grass colorless colors, you do 80 and discard all tools from your points active. That's like not very useful, right? That's not a lot of damage, and discarding tools isn't very useful. There are times when it's nice, but there are also probably better ways to do it. Klefki and the new Rotom. I think the new Rotom is a very solid card. It counters tools and counters special energy, and it's only one colorless. This is 3 energy, so maybe in some very niche use cases. There's like a grass Ditto box that it probably won't be that good, but it'll be fun. So then you could put this in, but that's like, it's still not very good, right? Yeah. And then we have Zarude here. This is interesting. 20 heal 20. Pokemon didn't even like use the same brackets, which is unfortunate for this. Yeah, it's not that good. But the second attack here, 80 for 3, and you can put all energy attached to this Pokemon into your hand. It does 80 more, so it's 160. That's pretty solid, honestly. If we had Sharam, which we don't, it rotated like almost a year ago by now. But if you had that, like if you're looking at maybe GLC, I don't know. There's like a good Zarude in GLC. But Zarude is an interesting card. Unfortunately, probably just not good enough. Certainly not good enough in the current standard format. You don't want to pair this with Godinia's Figure because that card's bad. It's not the worst, but it's not very good either, right? So Zarude though is I mean, it's better than Delmise, but it's not very good. Then we have Cast Form, Sunny Form. This is also not good. It can burn for 1. It does have free retreat, which is nice. There's a chance this card will see play. I actually didn't realize it had free retreat at first, but it could be played in Armors as a pivot, and then you also have Sunny Assist here, which says 50 for 2, move all injury from this 20 or bench Pokemon. I actually do think this Pokemon has very minor utility within Armors decks. There are pretty good pivots in the game right now. I mean, there's Mew EX, which is really good. There's more Pico, but this is essentially the same, if not better, within certain decks. Not every deck, certainly, but in like a fire deck, this is better than more Pico. So I'm not very familiar with the the pivots and format, to be honest, other than Morpeko and UEX. There might be some obvious ones that I'm forgetting. And then, of course, we have U-turn board and, no, sorry, we have rescue board and we have a beach board, which can give Pokemon like Comfy, Tatsugiri, whatever, free retreat. And then you can also, there are some things, but whatever. This could like see a tiny bit of play. Pansear, nothing special. Semi-Seer can do 140 for one energy on a coin for on a double coin flip on a stage one. It's like if you get double heads, it's like okay, but obviously this card isn't great. Then we have Cragnole. I don't believe we've looked at yet. It searches for Pokemon or does 30 and on a coin flip it does paralysis. That's not great. I mean, if you like paralyze, if you flip heads all the time, it's like pretty solid, but obviously you're not doing that. Then we have Bruxish. This is kind of interesting. Its attack here are 50 for 2, and the defending Pokemon can't retreat during your opponent's next turn. That's something we see. That's like okay. It's not that good though. But then we have the ability counterattack Quilt. If this Pokemon is in the active and is damaged by an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, even if it's knocked out, put 3 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon. So that's like okay. We've seen abilities like this, and they haven't really been meaningful, but I don't know. I honestly just like the art on this card. I don't know why. Bruxus is kind of ugly, but this art is I like this art, but yeah, no, the card's nothing special, but honestly these are like theme deck caliber Pokemon or pre-release. No, they're like weaker than pre-release caliber Pokemon, but they are theme deck caliber Pokemon. So yeah. Then we got we have good cards like Quaquaval, but I've talked about these before. We do have Titan though. This one's pretty interesting. Its attack is not right. It's 150 for 4 straight up. It's water colorless, which is kind of payable, but certainly not great. But then we have the ability here, which says you take 30 less damage, and you have 180 HP, which is a lot. Also, you don't even have 4 retreat, which is like 4 retreat, like 3 is still a lot, but a Pokemon that's this tanky, not having 4 retreats, honestly kind of crazy. It doesn't matter that much. Like, arguably 4 retreats better with certain cards. They're not in the game now, but like an expanded, it might be better, but certainly in standard, I think 3 retreats better than 4. So yeah, this is very tanky though. This has 180 HP, essentially 210, right? Then you can buff it with there's like card this is stage 1, take 30 less. The tool, I don't remember the name of it. I keep like randomly like seeing my opponents play it. It's not like great. I was gonna say it's like Assault Band or something, but I don't think that's what it is. But anyway, there's a card that says stage 1 take 30 less, and then you can stack this. All of a sudden, you're up to 240 on stage 1. That's a lot. So I think Titan's actually an okay card. For like a stall deck, you just loop it over and over with whatever Turbo scenario probably. So this is not actually a terrible card. It's definitely the best of the ones we looked at so far, I think. Um, Outside of maybe the cast form as a pivot within Armouge decks, but that's like kind of niche and not that interesting. Um, Tapu Lele, it can do 180 if your opponent's active is confused. That's like kind of good. I don't know how you do that though. I mean, there's like the new Credilli, so if you can like flip heads on a stage 2 fossil, then you could do it. I think it does confused. I don't remember what special conditions it does, to be honest. I mean, I know it's a burn and poison. I don't remember if the third one's confused. I think it is, but it might not be, in which case that doesn't work. But it's meant to work with the first stack, which confuses. That's pretty niche though. We have so we looked at most of these cards. Excadrill, this is kind of interesting for 2 energy. It does 140 if you have any bench metal Pokemon. So that's like okay. It'd probably just be better if it was 3 energy and even just did like 20 more damage because you probably just play this with reversal. But it's an okay attack. It's not like anything super special, but it's not that bad either. Then we have Landorus, 130 for 4, hits the resistance, or accelerating energy to itself. Yeah, this is like a theme deck caliber Pokemon. A lot of these cards just are pretty bad. Kind of bad, like for competitive standard. Even for like casual play, they're like not particularly impressive. But they are cards, right? So yeah, I mean we've been spoiled with some really good sets lately, so it's gotta get bad at some point. Like Stellar Crown honestly Stellar Crown has a lot of bulk in it though. A lot of cards that just aren't good. I made a ranking of all the Stellar Crown cards. There's a lot that are just like really bad. It is a very good set. The good cards, there's like I think I had like 5 cards in S tier, which is like really that's a lot, right? I feel like normally a set has like 1, maybe 2 cards in S tier at most. A lot of sets just don't have any. But I had 5. It's so that's like it has really good stuff, but it has a lot of bad stuff. Superior's Dragona has a lot of bad stuff that we're taking a look at now. We have Grapple Locked. If it has any damage counters on it, it can be used for only when fighting. This is okay, 130. You're looking to do 160, which you can with Defiance Band. So it's not like that hard to get the damage counters on. Not exactly sure the best way. Maybe Keep Shrug Bog. Could be like Doju Damage Mover or Damage Pump, or it could be. I think there's a stadium too that if you attach energy, then you can do it, which is no, I'm trying to think. Oh no, there's Calamitous Snowy Mountain, but you need to be a basic to do that, so that's like awkward as well. But there are ways to like get this powered up, and fighting, excuse me, fighting is generally a good weakness to hit. So this is not like a terrible card. If we had Rainbow Energy, this would be really good. I feel like it would be like a viable card to just put into decks. We don't, but maybe expanded, you can have some fun with this. That's not like insane, but also fighting weaknesses are really good there for lots of Pokemon. We have Skarmory, does 50, takes 30 less. Again, pretty generic, but is a new card. And then we have Iron Crown. Iron Crown's okay here. This is actually a solid Pokemon for Metal Colorless, 40, but 120 if your opponent has 3 or more bench Pokemon. This will certainly happen some, and it is also a future Pokemon, and it is metal. There is another metal future Pokemon. No, sorry, there's 2. There's the Iron, um, the what is it? I always forget which one's which. It's the one that's not Great Tusk. Um, yeah, I can't think of what the card is. But it's the one I'm really struggling here. Why do they name all the future and ancient Pokemon like the same? Anyway, it's the one which there's the one that's fighting in metal. And then also, yeah, as I said, I'm feeling a little under the weather, so I'm a little out of it. But there's an EX type. The EX is like bad, but the single prizer is like kind of okay. Um, yeah, it's like on the tip of my tongue, but yeah, I feel like people like kind of know what it is. I'm sure someone will leave it down below in the comment section, and I'll be like, oh yeah, that one. It was in the. It's not like great. That card was in the discussion for like the worst, one of the worst Pokemon from Gen 9 because it is a Pokemon that has had 2 EXs, and it's also had two two future Pokemon, generally future Pokemon get support. And this is also a future Pokemon, so it does get support in the form of Oh, it's Iron Treads. I just thought of it. There we go. I almost went to look it up, but it is Iron Treads. So future Pokemon, you have support, you get extra damage, and you get some energy acceleration, which is okay. And then you just get support, right, which is good. Techno Radar is a good card. Ball Search and Standard is just okay. I feel like it's like solid, but it could be better. So yeah, Techno Radar is really nice as well. Then we have Palkia is new, I believe, and it says 40 for each basic energy attaches Pokemon. It's kind of like the Raging Bolt from Stellar Crown, except this one, what's to do? It has 40 times multiplier instead of 30. This is like kind of okay for specifically Regidrago. It's not very good. It's pretty niche, I feel like. Yeah, it's probably not really ever good. When I said Raging Bolt, I did mean the single prize Raging Bolt. There is the Raging Bolt EX, though. You discard energies, and then it has a 70 times multiplier. So, and that can be from anywhere. But I feel like Palkia, I don't know, you need like 5, no, you need like 6 energy to make it worthwhile, even kinda. So it's probably not ever going to be worth it. But theoretically, you could just get like absurd amounts of energy on a Pokemon. Then you're not discarding them, and so like it could have niche use cases. I don't think it's a very good attacker, but it is like an option. That's the only way I'd see it seeing play. It is Dragon, but that means it doesn't hit weakness. It doesn't have weakness, but it doesn't hit weakness either, which is kind of bad. Turtonator, we have it's an attack burnt to a crisp. Discard an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon EX for 1 fire. This is not a bad attack for control-based decks. How good is it? It's kind of niche, I feel like, but it's not a terrible attack either. I think Turtonator will be a card that you could play. Chewy X is like played sometimes in control. It's kind of weird. Like Fire Energy isn't that good in control. You have Radiant Charizard, which is like kind of good, but especially with the Blood Moon Ursaluna EX, it doesn't feel like amazing. It's not like you need some other Radiant, but it's just not that good in the deck. And then of course you also have like other types of energy you might be wanting. It really depends on the deck. I think Psychic's good for Mimikyu and different things like that. But another reason to play Fire, Turtonator could see play, and then you have the Chewy X and maybe Radiant Charizard or whatever. Charizard DX sometimes put in to make this like pseudo control deck where you have serious attacking options with obviously Charizard DX, very good attacker. Then you have like Turtonator and Chewy X to disrupt your opponent, mill them, things like that. Then we have, I think Flapple and Appleton are new. I don't believe I've talked about these. Appleton here, it says 50 in your opponent's Pokemon can't attack next turn. Flapple here does 20 for each damage counter on your opponent's active. These are both attacks used for, theoretically, Regidrago V-Star, right? There's a lot of Dragon Pokemon in this set. It's a Dragon set. Unfortunately, most of them aren't very good. Only Executor is okay. Altaria is actually okay as well, but it's not like for Regidrago. But none of them are like that good. But I would be shocked. No, I wouldn't be shocked, but I would expect that like one of these Pokemon sees playing Regidrago, probably that Lone Executor EX, which is like solid in its own right. That'll probably be in the top 10, but Flapple and Appleton, nothing super special, but they do have some use cases. Then we have Braviary here twice. I don't know what that's about. Then we have Cyclizar EX. This is, I guess, the big Pokemon from this set of reveals, and it has 2 attacks here. It has its first attack that says 180 for 3 colorless. 130 for 3 colorless and 30 to 1 your opponent's bench Pokemon. This is okay, not taking one shots on 2 prizes ever or like most evolutions, but it is some evolutions. You cannot arc capture things like that, but not a terrible attack. This could be a stellar Pokemon you could play. I feel like it's worse than Terapagos, like in just a normal average deck. But if you are needing to play a Terra for whatever, like Noctowl, Glass Trumpet, Area Zero Underdepths. Then you could play Cyclizar EX. I feel like it does have 1 retreat. If it had free retreat, I think it would be really good. It doesn't. It has 1. That's like okay. I think Trapgos has 2. I could be mistaken though. But Cyclizar is like okay. And then your second attack here, Zerkan Road, which is Grass, Fire, Psychic, 180, and you can draw 5 cards. And that's like okay. I mean, drawing 5 is like kind of good, but also the attack cost is really awkward. And drawing 5, I mean, it is good, right? But also your opponent might just Iono you or judge you. Judge is definitely going to be solid there. You'll have at least 5 cards in hand. You'll probably have like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 maybe. This is kind of funny. Someone was saying like Tinkaton was really good in a video that I made. So this like, I don't know. I mean, it's really awkward synergy-wise, but it's an okay Pokemon. It's not like that good, but it's not terrible either. Then we have, let's see, we looked at these cards. So we have a few more cards stuff. I believe 2 more. Yeah, we got ourselves, oh no, we have Dragona here, which is shuffle your hand into your deck and draw 3 or 8 on a coin flip. This is like, we've seen cards like this. They're not good, right? Shuffle draw 8 is like good. It's very good. Shuffle draw 3 is very bad. So obviously this card isn't, great with its consistency issues. I don't know exactly how bad it is, but it's not great. Then we have the Ace-Spec Energy Search Pro. Where is Energy Search Pro? Energy Search Pro. Maybe it isn't in this set. I might used to talk about it. So it's an Ace-Spec. It lets you search out as many energy of different types as you want as an item. It might actually not be in this set, as I said. I thought it was. Maybe not. So I'm just gonna real quick check if it is in this set, Energy Search Pro. This here says it is. So it's card 52. Sorry. 55, 53, 51. Okay, yeah, it's just not there. Okay, so Energy Search Pro. Maybe that's what Breviary was supposed to be. Anyways, so we have this card that says you can search out as many Ace-Specs, as many, excuse me, item cards as an item. Let's just search as many energy cards, basic energy cards out of your deck of different types as you want, but like that's like kind of really niche and specific. It's like good for Grafia or something, but yeah, I do like the art, I will say, but also it's like not good, right? Like why do you need 8 different types of energy outside of really niche cases, and even in those cases, like just I don't know, like it's kind of bad, right? Yeah, but then we have the what's this? Pasho Berry? I don't know how to say this, but yeah. So then we have a tool that says, and we've seen cards like this before. We've seen yeah, I don't remember the names of the other berries either, but there's 2 from Stellar Crown, a Psychic one and a Fire one. This one's Water. The Pokemon damaged by this, or damaged by that type, Water type in this case, takes 60 less damage from an attack, then you discard this card. This is an okay tool. It's not that good, right? Like Water is not a great type right now. It's an okay type, but there are good types. Darkness is pretty good. Lightning is pretty good. Psychic's like solid. I'm trying to think of what the best. Dragon's good, right? So we're gonna see. I don't know if we'll see it for Dragon and Colorless, but we'll definitely see it for each of the main 8 types of basic energy cards. Very well may see it for Dragon and Colorless. And this card, I feel like if we saw it for Dragon, it would be in this set, but maybe we'll see it for Dragon. It's certainly not out of the picture. We saw the gloves cards, we do more damage to those types. This is the reverse, you take less damage from them. I don't think these tools are super great, but if you are countering the best type in the game, if there's a type that's like way better than every other type, which there isn't right now, but there are some types that are definitely the better types, then this tool card is good. This one in particular is not very good, right? Water isn't very good right now. It's not like terrible, but it's not great. But I am looking forward to seeing all the different berries. I mean, we know exactly what they're going to be like, and presumably we'll get all the types over probably within a year. We might get them all this year. Probably no, no. We don't know. We're not going to get like 6 or 8 berry cards in this next set, but we'll get probably within a year, certainly by the end of next year. They will probably have different regulation marks, maybe. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but anyways, the berry cards are going to be kind of good if there's one type that's really good and just doesn't hit like absurd amounts of damage. It's like essentially infinite. So, anyways, that's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Consider liking, subscribing, hitting the bell, all that good stuff. And as always, I'm excited to see you in the next video. And hopefully, I'll be better than I got some big stuff planned though. So, I hope you enjoy.